Like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get new video updates.
Ukraine-Russia war updates. Zelenskyy accuses Russia of trying to wipe out civilians in Mariupol as Moscow claims city cleared of Ukrainian forces. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has accused Russia of trying to wipe out civilians who remain trapped in the southern port city of Mariupol, after Russia claimed it had cleared the city of Ukrainian forces. Look back at all of Saturday's news and updates with our live blog. Key events live updates. Ukraine shows no sign of accepting Russia's surrender request in Mariupol. It is approaching 7 a.m. in Ukraine, but Ukrainian authorities have given no sign that they will accept Russia's request for Ukrainian forces still fighting in Mariupol surrender their weapons in exchange for a guarantee that their lives will be spared. Russia has repeatedly claimed that it has cleared the urban area of the besieged southern city, but has not provided any evidence. Ukrainian officials have also not verified the claims. Earlier, Russia's state-owned news agency TASS reported that Russia's defense ministry told Ukrainian forces who are reportedly blockaded in the Azovstal steelworks plant that they would have between 6 a.m. and 1 p.m. Moscow time to lay down their weapons and ammunition and leave the plant. Ukraine has not disclosed whether it would agree to the deal proposed by Russia, but President Volodymyr Zelenskyy previously said the destruction of the port city would end negotiations. Zelenskyy described the situation in Mariupol as very difficult, and the situation remains inhuman. More than 20,000 civilians have been killed in the southern port city of Mariupol since the war began on February 24, and more than 100,000 people remain trapped in the city. Ukraine has repeatedly accused Russia of failing to follow agreed humanitarian corridors, and efforts to evacuate civilians from Mariupol have repeatedly broken down, with both sides blaming each other. If Mariupol was captured by Russia, it would give Moscow the option to build a land bridge to Crimea and control the entire north shore of the Sea of Azov. In pictures, the Ukrainians fleeing to safety in Romania The UN estimates more than 732,000 Ukrainian refugees have traveled to Romania since Russia began its invasion. Reuters photographer Fedja Grulovic captured these images of those who are the latest refugees to reach the border crossing point in Siret, Romania. Head of the Russian Navy meets with members from sunken missile cruiser. Russia's defense ministry claims the head of the Russian Navy, Admiral Nikolai Yevmenov, has met with crew members from the sunken missile cruiser Moskva. Reuters is reporting that Yevmenov said the crew would continue to serve in the Navy. Ukraine said it hit the flagship of Russia's Black Sea Fleet with a misisle, while Russia claims the Moskva sank after ammunition on board exploded. The Russian Defense Ministry released a 26-second undated video showing Yevmenov and two other officers standing outside in front of around 100 sailors on a parade ground where they were speaking to one man. The ministry did not say when the meeting took place. Russia has said all of the 500 crew were rescued after the blast late on Wednesday, but Ukrainian officials have said some of those on board died. Neither side has been able to verify its account of the ship sinking. In pictures, life inside a chemical plant bomb shelter in eastern Ukraine. Inside a chemical plant in Sievierodonetsk, in the Luhansk region of eastern Ukraine, dozens of people have spent weeks hiding in its dedicated shelter to hide from shelling since the beginning of the war. Reuters photographer Marko Djurica went inside the shelter, capturing the new daily life of those seeking safety from the unrelenting Russian assault. New EU sanctions on Russia to target Sberbank, oil. Commission head. The head of the European Commission Ursula von der Leyen has told a German newspaper that the European Union will sanction Russian banks, particularly Sberbank, and oil. Reuters is reporting that Bild am Sonntag asked von der Leyen to name the key points of a planned sixth round of sanctions. We are looking further at the banking sector, especially Sberbank, which accounts for 37% of the Russian banking sector. And, of course, there are energy issues, she said. The EU has so far spared Russia's largest bank from previous sanctions rounds because it, along with Gazprombank, is one of the main channels for payments for Russian oil and gas, which EU countries have been buying despite the conflict in Ukraine. She also said that the EU was working on clever mechanisms so that oil could also be included in the next sanctions. What should not happen is that Russian President Vladimir Putin collects even higher prices on other markets for supplies that would otherwise go to the EU, she said. The top priority is to shrink Putin's revenues. Who are the British politicians banned from travelling to Russia? Earlier we heard that Moscow has barred 13 British